Sunod. Next one is abilities. Train, 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 and train again. No? Training is very important, but it can be expensive, of course, if the money is not spent wisely. The training should be related to needs, expectation, and process improvement. It must be planned and always its effectiveness reviewed. Every employee, no, should be able to do what is needed and expected of him or her, but it's first necessary to decide what is really needed and expected. If it is not clear what employees or subcontractors are required to do and what standards of performance are expected, how can managers expect them to do it? Now, a good example of such confusion has been created on construction projects over the past few decades. Now, management has repeatedly said that they want the job done quickly, but rarely have they stressed that it should be correct the first time. Sige ra kay ingon nga dapat ang unsa na ang itrabaho ninyo ani pas-pas. Pas-pas lagi dya sige pug kasadyo. Wa makaning ingon nga pas-pas og sakto the first time. Pas-pas lagi na human sa jud mo pud ay so balik na po. Diba? So mao na. So wait. This has resulted in a culture of we can fix it later. Let's just get on with the job. Sumon ni ang pinaka-sayop nga mindset. No? Kanang kag hoy, sayop man ni imong paspas lagi ka pero namay dahang sa subda. Sige ra kay i-correct ra na later oy. Ang ato nga mahuman ni tanan. Di ato ra nang balikon. Ato tan-awon ug unsay mga sadyo para atong i-correct. Now remember nga ang time, cost, abilities nga na-involve or na-inculcate during sa pagtrabaho ninyo, that was a waste of time. Kay mo balik ramang gihapon ka. Balikon po na mo, yung gitrabaho lagi nimo, nahuman ka. Pas-pas nga pagkahuman, pero ning balik ra pud kay mo na pong gi-review kakahibaw kang naay daghang sayop. So, mauna sadya ang gusto nga i-eradicate sa total quality management. Remember that defects are more expensive to rectify later. Mas, ngano man, kay nahimo, paragod anang magbahay ka. So, wa kay plan, wa nimo giplano ang balay. So, kay-square nimo butangan og kanang kasi nga na mga tellers char di na kay bawo si Bisaya sa teller basta ang tawag ana haligi nahuman imong bahay karon kinang ay idus undanas man daay ni naho so nasadyop kag butang sa haligi kay gagmay nga haligi imong gibutang what are you going to do mubalik na pug ka balik na pagkag purma-purmag structure para sa buhos para sa haligi kay para mahimo si Jang dos andanas but because you are into finishing the house right on that time schedule nimo paspasan nimo trabaho kay lagi aron mahuman but in the process daghan og sayop nga nahimo so you have to go back repeat again so ang imong mga nagamit ng mga raw materials, lain na po nga raw materials ang imong i-consume. So, mo na nga aspect ang gitanaw sa total quality management. Okay. Another is participation. Now, they must be trained to evaluate, plan, do, check, and amend. If all employees are to participate in making the company or organization successful, then they must also be trained in the basics of discipline management. Kani, Money ang gitawag natong discipline management. The evaluate, plan, do, check, and amend. The word discipline applied to people at all levels means that they will do what they say they will do. It also means that in whatever they do, they will go through the full process of evaluate, plan, do, check, and amend, rather than the most traditional and easier option of starting by doing rather than evaluating. This will lead to a never-ending improvement as shown in the above helix. This is what we call the, uh, the helix of never-ending improvement. This basic approach needs to be backed up with good management, of course, planning techniques, and problem solving methods, which can be taught to anyone in a relatively short period of time. Now, management enables changes to be made successfully and the people to remove the obstacles in their way. Directors and managers need this training as much as other employees. Now, kasi nga anak ka ng implementing the evaluate plan to check and amend, no, speaks greater, no, success rather than the traditional way. Okay. Okay, so let's go to leadership as an important ingredient of TQM. Okay. So again, emphasizing, no, the importance of leadership as one of the top ingredients of total quality management. First one is lack of top management commitment is one of the reason for the failure of TQM. Now, of course, commitment of the top management in the implementation of TQM is a must, or else failure is waving. Second is a predominant requirement for quality management is that strong commitment from top management is vital. So, more explanation, more support na siya sa first statement. And then, to be an effective leader in most modern firms, the top management must continue to develop and learn. So, not because you're in a top management position, you would think that you know everything. You still need to continue to develop and learn. Next, knowledge of the business and continual learning are essential prerequisites to effective leadership. Of course, kinahanglan nga you have a continual learning, no, about the organization and the business for you to lead effectively. Top management must be committed to allocating sufficient resources to prevent as well as repair quality problems. More self-explanatory, Rajulino. In order to effectively lead the firm, top management must be committed to provide education and training to employees and regarding them as valuable resources of the firm. Top management must train and coach employees to assess, analyze, and improve work processes. That is according to Deming. And then top management should discuss quality frequently by having session on a topic and asking questions about quality at every staff meeting. Dili ram sig meeting, lahi dayang diskussan. Chismis dayang diskussan. Nawa na gajud og TQM. Diba? Okay, so let's go to the characteristics of an excellent leadership. So what are the noted characteristics of a good leader or excellent leader? We have 7. Visible, committed, and knowledgeable. Now, they promote the emphasis on quality and know the details and how well the company is doing. Personal involvement in education, training, and recognition, accessible to and routine contact with employees, customers, and suppliers. So when you say visible, committed, and knowledgeable, so dapat naa ka makita kay kag leader ko ani nga department sa motong kag once in a blue moon mo kung ano mo ingon mag-meeting ta siya di day mo abot may na kuan mag-meet ta karon di day mo tungha. Is that a good leader? Of course not. You should be visible, committed to what you are saying. When ka makig-meeting ka, mag-meeting dyan na because you're committed. And of course, knowledgeable. Ano sa may mga discuss ha or impart sa ilaha if you lack particular knowledge. Diba? Second, a missionary zeal. Now, the leaders are trying to effect as much as change as possible through their suppliers, through the government, and through any other vehicle that promotes quality. They are active in promoting quality outside the company. So, mo na gitawag og missionary zeal. Mabitaw na kato sa una. I don't know if you are or kailaba mo ni Sir Mike Udtuhan. No, pero may isa naga layas diri sa CM. That was your style. But I could not say that he is not an effective leader. Tungod kay she was actually out in more on sa gawas siya because nangita siya og investors. Nangita siya og somebody who can help the college of Maasin improve. And of course, makita na itong improvement yun from the past up to the present. I'm not saying though that only Sir Mike is doing the job, but of course, Sir Mike is a top management. No, he was able to lead the College of Masin in order to improve. So, muna siya gitawag og a missionary zeal. Aggressive targets, going beyond incremental improvements and looking at the possibility of making large gains, getting the whole workforce thinking about different processes, not just improving processes. So, kung kag effective ka nga leader or excellent ka nga leader, naa kay dili ra kanang mundane nga targets. It should be aggressive and you should be able to lead your workforce to think like you think, to become aggressive as well, not aggressive in a negative way, ha. Number 4, strong drivers. Now, excellent leaders would be, of course, somebody that could drive the whole organization into cycle time, zero defects, Six Sigma, or other targets to drive improvements. Clearly define customer satisfaction and quality improvement objectives. Now, an excellent leader should have a clear defined customer satisfaction. When we say customer satisfaction, it's a broad thing. Now, an excellent leader must be able to identify what is really a customer satisfaction and quality improvement objectives and bring those into the whole team and driving them to achieve this particular defined customer satisfaction and quality improvement objectives. So, mana siya. Number 5, customer contact. CEO and all senior managers are accessible to the consumers. Not because you are on top management would mean nga di na ka pwede makighalubilo sa mga customers. No? It would spell out to be not a very good kanang aspect of leadership kung aloof ka. No? So, number 6, communication of values, affecting cultural change related to quality, written policy, mission guidelines, and other documented statements of quality values or other bases for clear and consistent communication. So, An excellent leader should have communication of, or should be able to communicate, you know, different values within the organization. Okay, and the last one is organization. Flat structures that allow more authority at lower levels, empowering employees, managers as coaches rather than bosses, cross functional management processes, and focus on internal as well as external customers, interdepartment improvement teams. So an excellent leader would do such thing, no? Mo-opt sila for flat structures that would allow more authority at lower levels. Now this will empower not employees. Now, as what I have mentioned, managers should act as coaches rather than boss. Okay, so those are the characteristic of an excellent leadership. Okay, and that's it for the characteristics of excellent leadership. Now let's go to the role of TQM leaders. Now, all are responsible for quality improvement, especially the senior managers and CEO. Now, they are tasked now to ensure that the team's decision in harmony with the quality statements of the organization. Senior TQM leaders must read the TQM literature and attend conferences to be aware of TQM tools and methods. Now, kinahanglan jud gihapon no og seminars and workshop. Senior managers must take part in award and recognition ceremonies for celebrating the quality success of the organization and coaching others and teaching in TQM seminars. Senior managers must liaise with internal and external and suppliers through visits, focus groups, and surveys. They must live and communicate TQM. So, mo na ang rule of TQM leaders. I don't think that I still need to elaborate now kay each rule of TQM leaders are self-explanatory. Okay, so let's see what a good leader will eventually do. Uh, Meron siya mga iterations of what a leader uh, should do in order to achieve total quality management. But the whole concept has we have already discussed no the importance of leadership. Kasi sa mga past slides mo na to actually ang the whole concept of leadership and its importance in TQM. Kani nga mga last part, mga supplementary, ano na lang ni information. The first one is give priority attention to customers and their needs, which is, of course, that mo ni atong gi-discuss kanina nga kinahanglan or ang pinaka main, no, pinaka unod sa total quality management is providing satisfaction to your consumers, and you can only do that if you give priority attention to customers and their needs. And then good leaders should empower rather than control subordinates. If you are going to control subordinates, this would spell no short-lived success. Kay they will only be working no because of fear, but the moment nga magkalisod na ka, no, muhawa na sila nimo. But if you're going to empower them, they will help you lift up the organization. Emphasize improvement rather than maintenance. No? So, mo natong giingon nga zero defect or zero waste. They emphasize prevention, encourage collaboration rather than competition, of course. And then they train, coach rather than direct and supervise, learn from problems. They continually try to improve communications. Communication really is very important. Even in your personal life, if you have problems with particular person, ana, i-communicate ka na. Right on, directly. Di kay mo choose kag wrong channel, no? To voice out your reklamo or sa panimong problema ana nga tao. It will only, ano na, kanang make things go out of hand. And sometimes, it spells, kanang, ano ba, awkward na nuwa because you are not, man mo gi sultian that particular person right on unsa yung problema ni siya, no? Now, they continually demonstrate their commitment to quality, not just once or for a very short term, but continually. Choose one suppliers on the basis of quality, not price. Of course, price also pod. I mean, i-appeal po mong price, but price should not be the only thing, no, as basis for choosing your suppliers. If you could have suppliers with best quality and best price, why not? Diba? Establish organizational systems to support the quality effort. Encourage and recognize team efforts. Okay, so those are what a good leader will do. No? So let's go to habitat tamahuman. Let's go to excellence in leadership. Now, the vehicle for achieving excellence in leadership is total quality management. So, sumurag, in achieving total quality management, the vehicle is also leadership. Now, in achieving also excellence in leadership, the vehicle is total quality management. That is why they are interrelated or in a relationship. Now, we have seen that its framework covers the entire organization, all the people, all the functions, including external organization and suppliers. Okay, so number one, recognizing customers and discovering their needs. Magbalik-balik rin no? Okay, this is what excellence leadership is all about. Now, this refers to immediate in customers equally. No, not just the business customers, but also the end users or the end customers. Setting standards that are consistent with internal and end user customer requirements. Number three, controlling processes, including systems, and improving their capability. Now, this is way self-explanatory na said, no? And in number four, management's responsibility for setting the guiding philosophy, vision, quality policy, and among others. And of course, providing motivation through leadership and equipping people to achieve quality. And number five, selecting the right employees and supply chain partners and empowering people at all levels. And this applies in the organization and across the supply chain to act for quality improvement. Now, the task of implementing TQM can be daunting, no? And the chief executive and directors faced with it may become confused, sometimes irritated by the proliferation of theories and packages. A simplification is required. The core of TQM is, again, customer supplier interfaces and satisfaction, both internally and externally, and the fact that at each interface there are processes to convert inputs to outputs clearly. There must be a commitment to building in quality through management of inputs and processes. Although implementing the TQM can be tiring, daunting, or even marzaog dako nga hagit nimo as a leader, no? Sometimes you can be confused, no, what to do. You can be irritated by with all these theories, but you have to remember that the core, no, of TQM is customer satisfaction, no, improving the the internal as well as the external processes in order to provide satisfaction to your consumers. Okay. So aside from the fact that a good leadership is a strong anchor, no, or a successful implementation of total quality management, is an record ko yes. There are also salient features that points out the importance of leadership in achieving excellence. Now, these are these salient features. Number one, leaders establish unity of purpose, direction, and internal environment of the organization. They create the environment in which people can become fully involved in achieving the organization's objective. Another is the ability of top management to establish practice and lead a long-term vision for the firm, driven by changing customer requirements as opposed to an internal management control role. Okay, so the Oakland TQM model identified the 4 P's and 4 C's as the main items for attention to deliver excellence in leadership. No? And these are, of course, the planning, performance, process, people, customers, commitment, and culture and communication. Okay, so let's see unsa ng planning. So for planning, of course, it should be able to develop the vision needed for constancy of purpose and for long-term success. Now, this, as I have said, this is the Oakland TQM model for excellence in leadership. This is how are you going to implement, no, or achieve excellent leadership in total quality management. Now, there are 4 P's and 4 C's. The first one is planning. So, under planning, these are what you're going to do, no, or the more ilang propose. The first one is develop the vision needed for constancy of purpose and for long-term success. That is one thing. And then develop, deploy, and update policy and strategy. Now remember that we have talked about the quality policy that you need to implement in your organization. So muna siya. Align organizational structures to support delivery of policy and strategies. So we have also discussed na imong i-review ang management process to find out if there is anything that you are going to change that is necessary for the implementation and achievement of the total quality management by delivering of policy and strategies. So that is in the area of planning. For the area of performance, what are we going to do? First, identify critical areas of performance. Discuss na yun nato, diba? Katong mga critical drivers ba to? Nakalimot naman ako. CSSS. Mana siya. Identify critical areas of performance. Develop measures to indicate levels of current performances. Set goals and measure progress towards their achievement, of course. Provide feedback to people at all levels regarding their performance against agreed goals. So, feedbacking is really necessary, no? Let's take a look at the process. So number 1, ensure a system for managing processes is developed and implemented. That is given. Ensure through personal involvement that the management system is developed, implemented, and continuously improved. Now, this is applicable to both individual and in teams. Prioritize improvement activities and ensure they are planned on an organization-wide basis. Let's go to people. Train managers and team leaders at all levels in leadership skills and problem solving. That's very self-explanatory. Stimulate empowerment or create experts and teamwork to encourage creativity and innovations. This is more like empowerment, no? Empowering your, not just your leaders or your line managers, middle managers, but also the rest of the organization. Okay, through empowerment, diha nimo makita, diha nimo ma-pick out which among your workforce has the ability to become a good leader. Kung di ka, kung selective ra ka, like kag, kanira mga line managers, kanira mga middle managers, how are you going to be, or how are you going to discover nga naa di ay sa imong workforce, no? Nga naa dihay usang ray potential mahimong managers or even top management, belong on the top management someday. So in all your workforce, di mo dyan na-stimulate ang empowerment. That's what we call creating experts out of your workforce. Again, encourage support ko ang pataha people. My God. Encourage, support, and act on results of training, education, and learning activities. That is self-explanatory. Motivate, support, and recognize the organization's people. So it still speaks about empowerment. Help and support people to achieve plans, goals, objectives, and targets rather than imo silang i-decline or i-down. So they have to show support. Respond to people and encourage them to participate in improvement. Now let's go to customers. Now there are only 3. Be involved with customers. Be involved with customers and other stakeholders. When we say involved, so how are you going to identify what your customers and other stakeholders need if you are not going to be involved with them? So usa ni sa mga way that you can identify what the customers really need by being involved with them. Kamam sa si pag-involve mo adto ko sa kada barangay makig-chika-chika makig-kuan. No, dili ana. Of course, you have your research team, and of course, since your kanang first line employees are the one nga exposed sa imong mga customers and client ngadto ka nila mo kuha og mga information. So that's what we meant by be involved. Ensure customer both external and internal needs are understood and responded to, of course. Establish and participate partnership. Okay. Let's go to commitment. Be personally and actively involved in quality and improvement activities. Review and improve effectiveness of own leadership. So, to spell out commitment, you have to do this, no? Ingon ang Oakland TQM model. So, you need to review and improve effectiveness of your own leadership. Di ka mga, dugay na ko 50 anyos na kong leader. aning organization, I don't need to review and improve my uh, leadership's effectiveness. Remember that um, so the environment is dynamic. So your leadership in 1920s might not be effective in 2021. So that's why you need to review and improve your own leadership. Let's go to culture. Now, develop the values and ethics to support the creation of total quality. That's one thing, of course. Implement the values and implement the values and ethics through actions and behavior, not just talk. Managiingon na to, walk the talk. Now, ensure creativity, innovation, and learning activities are developed and implemented. Should always be implemented. That's just you develop this creativity, innovation, and learning activities out of compliance. So, what rin hatoy kwenta? You need to implement them so that you can evaluate and do some rectification if necessary. Okay? Gihangak sa ikuy nalabad. And the last one is communication. Now, stimulate and encourage communication and collaboration. This is very important. Ato na ninggi. I've been kanang emphasizing the importance of communication to good leadership. Without communication, there would be no good leadership. Excellent leadership. Wa na sila kung di kakabaw how to communicate. And of course, through communication, you can establish collaboration among your departments or workforce. And then another is personally communicate the vision, values, mission, policies, and strategies. Know them by heart. Remember mo, even kamong students are required to learn by heart the vision, mission of the college umasin. Dili ra to memorize because you are among the stakeholders of the organizations. You are actually counted as part of the college of Masin. Last one is be accessible and actively listen. Of course, excellent leaders are always accessible and would listen actively. No? Okay, so TQM should not be regarded as a woolly minded approach to running an organization. Dili gadget joke ang TQM. Most organizations in the Philippines has gamay pa siguro naka-achieve sa total quality management, no? Ngadto pa sa kanang mga sophisticated na mga organizations because it's not a woolly-minded approach. It requires strong leadership with clear direction and a careful plan and fully integrated strategy derived from the vision. No? One of the greatest tangible benefits of excellence in leadership is the improved overall performance of the organization. Now, the evidence for this can be seen in some of the major consumer and industrial markets of the world. Moreover, now effective leadership leads to improvement and superior quality, which can be converted into premium prices. So, of course, if you have improve or superior quality in terms of product and services, you could convert them into premium prices, not just gold, no, the highest prices you can, no, if they are of superior quality and improvement. Research now shows that leadership and quality clearly correlate with profit. Now, when we say leadership and quality would always equal or correlate with profit, but the less tangible benefit of greater employee participation is equally, if not more, important in the longer term. So, may kakaroon, clearly, quality and leadership equals profit. But, unsay role sa employee participation. Without employee participation, can you achieve excellent leadership and quality? That is the question. No? The pursuit of continual improvement be must become a way of life for everyone in an organization if it is to succeed in today's competitive environment. So imagine that if you are in a business and you're aiming to be successful given how competitive the environment is nowadays, so you need to opt for continual improvement. Continual improvement means or would equal to total quality management. And total quality management spells leadership and quality, which constitute once one employee participation or the entire organization. Okay, so that's it for this module or course. So let's go to your activity 1. So amo na ibasa kay gihangak na jud ko og explain. So this is your activity 1. I will give you 1 minute. Charot. Murag kuan kanang face to face bitaw. So this is what you're going to do. Okay? So kuan na lang ni play pause so you can read the entire activity. Okay, for number 1, that is number 1. Number 2, number 3. So that is what you're going to do. And then another. Pick one statement in the topic. Good leaders will eventually do this, and then evaluate your senior manager in relation to your chosen statement. And that's it. That's the end of lesson 3. Okay? Bye, kids. Oh my God.